everyone, this is Karen.
Hello everybody, I am Shane.
Today we're looking at part 1 of red light,
blue light.
And the vocabulary words are interrupt.
Interrupt.
In Taiwan, typhoons often interrupt people's daily lives during the summer.
Cycle.
Cycle.
A cycle of day and night on Earth takes 24 hours to complete.
Perform.
Perform.
The scientists performed a study on the effects of green tea on health.
Structure.
Structure.
The structure of the sentence you wrote is incorrect.
Really?
Sorry.
Vision.
Vision.
My dad is getting old, but he still has excellent vision. Do you know why?
Why we're speaking of vision? Or?
Yeah, well, no. Do you know why my dad still has excellent vision?
Why?
Because he doesn't spend a lot of time on his phone.
Ah, yeah. I think if we're always spending time staring at screens, I think it's going to affect your eyes. But there's this idea that over the last few years that blue light is really harmful to your eyes and especially to your sleep cycle.
That's right.
So we were being warned not to use our phones and computers before bed because of the blue light. Or we could use some filter to block that blue light.
That's right. But how about like the recent study? Is it really true?
Yeah, but more recently they found, because the original study was done on mice.
Yeah.
But in fact, the human eye is quite different.
The structure is actually different.
Right. So the most recent studies show that it's actually blue light is no worse than just sunlight. Because there's actually a lot of blue light from sunlight.
That's right.
And sunlight doesn't really damage your eyes.
But it's still a good idea not to stare at something, really, really bright 2 to 3 hours before you sleep, because you really need to give your eyes a rest, and let it relax.
And I think our natural cycle is when it gets dark, we get sleepy and we want to sleep. So maybe start dimming your lights at night before you go to bed slowly, and you will just fall asleep.
And it will help you sleep better. Okay, we're not sleeping yet.
Okay, sorry. Don't interrupt me.
All right, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Red light, blue light. The average adult spends about 11 hours a day looking at the screen of a cell phone, tablet, television, or computer. What all of these screens have in common is that they project blue light, which some say is bad for our eyes. Tough luck, right? Not necessarily, according to recent studies. What's more, a new way to keep our eyes sharp could be coming soon to stores.
Today's lesson is called Red Light, Blue Light. Part 1. Where's the green light and where's the yellow light? Hello everyone, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mike. Yeah, I thought it was red light, green light. Isn't that the stop and
then
go
the yellow
game?
light is...
The yellow light's in the middle. So what kind of light are we talking about here? We're not talking about traffic lights because, of course, we don't have blue traffic lights. We have red, green, and yellow or something. But let's get into it. Let's find out what this light is, why it's interesting, why it's important, and why we're reading an article about it. Well, the first sentence gives us a good clue as to what type of light we're talking about. The average adult spends about 11 hours a day looking at the screen of a cell phone, tablet, television, or computer. That light, the light from the screens that we look at, 11 hours a day?
Is that a typo? 11 hours?
Well, you go on, you wake up, you pick up your phone, you're on the bus, you look at your phone, you get to the get to work, you look at your computer, you go home, you watch some TV, you look at your phone when you're making dinner. Yeah, 11 hours a day, it could,
and
half your day.
I guess that's not a typo. That is kind of scary. And what all of these screens have in common, all of these screens that we stare at for 11 hours a day on average, what all of these screens have in common is that they project blue light, which some say is bad for our eyes. Tough luck, right? Yeah, it sounds that way. The blue light's bad for us. And we are just drowning in this blue light. We're getting this blue light projected into our eyeballs at an average of 11 hours a day.
That's right. And as it says there, tough luck, right? When we say that, we're not saying, oh, you're having bad luck. We're saying this is a bad situation, but hey, what can you do about it, right? It's raining and you got to go to work. You can't stay home. Tough luck, right? Nothing you can do about it. Not necessarily, according to recent studies. No, there might be something that you can do about it. So this is the good news, and there's a bit more good news attached to that. What's more, a new way to keep our eyes sharp could be coming soon to stores. So you might be able to cut down the amount of blue light you get. That's good. And there might be a new product out there that could help keep your eyes sharp or stop your eyes from getting sore and getting tired and even damaging your eyes so that you need glasses later in life. And this new product could be available in stores soon. Sounds pretty awesome.
It does.
You could also just turn off your computer occasionally, but we won't talk about that. Let's take a break and then we'll be back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 Red Light, Blue Light。红光和蓝光，听到蓝光，同学们应该马上就会联想到3C 产品的萤幕蓝光吧？像手机啊、平板、电视、电脑这些产品的萤幕有一个共同点，就是它们会投射蓝光。那我们先来看3个重点。第一个是 what 引导的名词子句可以当主词、受词或是主词补语用，去表达什么什么的事物。那么 what 在这边相当于 the things that 或者是 the thing that。而 what 引导的这个名词子句当主词的时候，必须把它视为单数哦，之后就要接单数动词。比如 What I need is some peace and quiet。我需要的是片刻的安静。那么名词子句 What I need 是当主词用，要视为单数，所以后面是搭配单数动词 is。第二个重点。Have something in common 表示有什么什么的共同点、相似处。例如 Her sister and I have something in common. We both love singing. 我跟她姐姐有共同之处，我们2个都爱唱歌。第3个重点，关系代名词 which 可以引导关系子句去补充说明前面的事物，也就是先行词。当这个先行词是明确特定的事物时，就要用非限定用法。which 引导的关系子句要用逗号跟主要子句隔开。我们用例句看会更清楚。Jessie's new phone, which she bought last week, just fell into the toilet. 好，这个句子的主要子句其实就是 Jessie's new phone just fell into the toilet. Jessie 的新手机刚刚掉进马桶里了。那我们中间插入一个关系子句 which she bought last week 是补充说明那只手机是她上个礼拜买的，所以我们用逗号把这个补充说明隔开。好，同学们应该都有听过 3C 产品萤幕发出的蓝光对我们的眼睛不好，不过根据最近的研究发现不见得是这样而且有一种让我们眼睛保持清晰的新方法可能很快就会上市咯，听起来是不是很棒呢？那老师们刚刚用到 awesome 这个字 A-W-E-S-O-M-E awesome 就可以形容非常棒的或是令人惊叹的。接回到课文中。
Red light, blue light. Blue light has been said to interrupt natural sleep cycles and damage the eyes. This belief is based on a study performed on lab mice. In the study, blue light damaged part of the mice's eyes. However, the structure of the human eye is different from that of a mouse's eye.
Okay, blue light.
Blue light.
It's the worst, right?
It's killing us.
Not necessarily.
No.
Anyways, more on blue light.
Yes.
Blue light has been said to interrupt natural sleep cycles and damage the eyes.
Yeah,
there you go.
sure.
Now, here we have the word interrupt to talk about. Sometimes you're having a conversation with someone and someone shows up and they start talking and you have to stop talking and you lose your train of thought and that conversation is now over. That person is now interrupted you. They have broken in, usually in a rude way. Now, someone can interrupt you while you're talking. They can also interrupt you while you're working. Maybe you're sitting in the library trying to get some homework done and someone makes a loud sound and you can no longer concentrate. That person has interrupted you. That's the idea here. For example, in Taiwan, typhoons often interrupt people's daily lives during the summer. Yeah, sometimes kids like that though. They don't have to go to school.
Yeah.
Okay, so the typhoon has interrupted their routine in a good way.
Absolutely. It breaks up the cycle of having to go to school 5 days a week. What is a cycle? This noun, it just basically means a recurring pattern. Yeah, think of a bicycle where the wheels and your pedals and your feet go round and round. Think of the rain cycle where rain falls, goes into the lakes, back into the clouds and falls again. Think of an election cycle every 4 years in Taiwan. We pick a new president and the new president works, and then 4 years later we have another election. It returns and comes back and happens again and again in an organized, predictable kind of way. Here's another one, the time cycle, the light cycle, the day and night cycle. A cycle of day and night on Earth takes 24 hours to complete. Every 24 hours, the sun comes up one more time.
That's the cycle. There you go. Now, this belief is based on a study performed on lab mice. Now, remember, we're talking about blue light.
Right. Bad for your eyes.
Bad for your eyes. It disrupts sleep cycles. Yeah, so this is what people believe.
Right.
And this belief is based on a study that was performed on lab mice.
Right, we test on animals.
Not humans. Lab mice. Interesting.
They
Anyways,
have red eyes and they're not like ours.
There you go. Now, it says here this study was performed, okay? When you're talking about a study, if you've performed that study, you can say that you have done that study. Here, performed and done, okay, mean about the same thing. You've done that study, carried it out, so on and so forth. For example, the scientists performed a study on the effects of green tea on health. So they had this particular experiment. They wanted to test how green tea helps you or makes you more healthy. They had this experiment. They had this study. They conducted it, or they performed this study. Now, let's talk about this study on lab mice.
Yeah, in the study, blue light damaged part of the mice's eyes. So they made these unfortunate mice stare at blue light, at screens, or just a lamp that made the same kind of light, and they noticed after days or weeks or whatever that the mice, their eyes weren't so good. They had been damaged by that. Yeah, that's how they test different things. However, as you pointed out, and as I thought the scientists should have, thought about, the structure of the human eye is different from that of a mouse's eye. Just look at them. They look different. Mice eyes and rats eyes are kind of red, and they don't have the white parts that we have. And, they're different animals. Their eyes are different. They might work in a similar way, but the structure of the eye is different. What's the structure? This noun basically means how something is put together. The eyes do the same thing. They let light in and they let the animal see. But how the eye is actually made is different. As I said, they look different. We have this white part, the colored part, the black part in the middle. All of that is the structure of our eye, how it's actually made. The way it works might be similar, but how it's made, how it's put together, how it looks, that's the structure. It's different. For example, the structure of the sentence you wrote is incorrect. Am I how? No, how am I? It's got to be right. You got to put it together right. Build it correctly. Have the right structure. Let's take a break, and then we'll be back to find out how to save our eyes.
好，课文写到，蓝光据说会中断自然的睡眠周期而伤害眼睛。那这个看法是根据对实验室老鼠所进行的研究而来的。那在这项研究当中，蓝光让老鼠部分的眼睛有受损。不过人类眼睛的构造跟老鼠眼睛的结构是不一样的嘛。我们这边来看4个单字哦 ，interrupt。Interrupt 这个动词表示中断或是使什么暂停、打断的意思。有一个意思相近的动词是 disrupt。disrupt 表示扰乱或是打断、中断。好，再来看 cycle 表示周期或是循环。麦克老师在解释单字时用到 recurring 这个形容词，就表示反复出现的、循环的。它是拼作 recurring。下一个单字 perform 在这边是当动词来表达进行、执行，那么 perform 也有表演的意思。还有 structure 是名词，表示构造或是结构。解剖课文中。
Red light, blue light. New studies show that blue light from phone or computer screens is no more damaging than sunlight, our largest source of blue light. Still, to get a good night's rest, it's best not to view any kind of bright light 2 to 3 hours before bed. In addition, looking at screens for too long will likely cause eye strain and could lead to a host of eye disorders and even vision loss.
Okay, is blue light terrible for us? Maybe not. It says new studies show that blue light from phone or computer screens is no more damaging than sunlight, our largest source of blue light. So there you go. Sunlight. It's the devil. No, the sunlight, it allows us to live. It allows plants to grow. Without sunlight, we wouldn't be here. Now, you should wear sunblock and not get sunburns. But is blue light bad for us? Not necessarily. Sunlight is about as bad for us as blue light is, and that's what new studies show. So no more no more lab mice. No, let's talk about how actual sunlight and blue light affects us humans.
So light can damage your eyes, but the light from a screen is not necessarily more dangerous than the normal light you get when you go outside. But you should always still, of course, take care of your eyes. Like taking care of any other part of your body, they need rest. It says still, to get a good night's rest, it's best not to view any kind of bright light 2 or 3 hours before bed. Yeah.
2 to 3 hours before bed.
2 to 3 hours before bed. Yeah, exactly. If you go out in the middle of the afternoon and then try to sleep right away, you might find it hard to fall asleep. In the same way, if you look at a screen until 12 o'clock and then try to go to bed at 12:05, you might find it hard to fall asleep. Your brain thinks it's awake. Your brain thinks it's bright out. Your brain thinks it's daytime. So give that screen a rest. Don't look at some blue light before going to bed.
And there's more. In addition, looking at screens for too long will likely cause eye strain and could lead to a host of eye disorders and even vision loss. So the blue light might not be bad for you, but staring at a screen for 11 hours per day on average, that could be bad for your eyes. So don't do it. You might even suffer vision loss if you continue to do this. By the way, here we have the word vision. It's a noun. When we're talking about vision, we're talking about the ability to see. Okay? If you can see, you have vision. That's all there is to it. For example, my dad is getting old, but he still has excellent vision. Yes, even at the age of 75, he still does not need to wear reading glasses. He sees very well. He has excellent vision. All right, folks, that's it for today's lesson. But don't go away. We'll have more for you on this topic next time. See you then.
刚刚说蓝光会中断自然睡眠周期而伤害眼睛，那这个说法的根据是来自对实验室老鼠的研究。可是老鼠跟人的眼睛构造不同啊，那现在新的研究就显示说，太阳光和手机或电脑萤幕发出的蓝光都不会造成伤害哦。好，这边有一个重点是 A is no more 形容词什么什么 than B， 这是否定比较级的句型，来表达 A 和 B 一样不怎么样怎么样，就相当于 neither A nor B 怎么样怎么样。好，例如 This dress is no more expensive than that one。这件洋装跟那件一样不会很贵。好，顺便补充一下，如果是要表达 A 和 B 一样怎么样怎么样，则是用 no less 什么什么 than 什么什么。例如 Mental health is no less important than physical health。心理健康和生理健康一样重要。好，那听到蓝光不会对眼睛造成伤害，这不代表你可以狂看手机哦。课文就提醒我们要有好的睡眠，最好不要在睡前2到3个小时来看这个任何一种亮光，而且你长时间盯着荧幕看也会造成这个眼睛疲劳啊，或是造成很多的眼部疾病，甚至是视力丧失，所以还是要注意哦。我们最后来看单字 vision 就表示视力或是视觉，它是不可数名词。好，以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Hello， 各位同学，大家好，我是季安老师。我们带大家看一下简短独白。来，简短独白呢，我们看到第4个类别了。第4个类别是什么？广播或者是电视媒体比较常考的这些内容，天气预报。我觉得非常常遇到。那天气预报呢，很多时候是什么天气不好了，暴风雪等等啊，它就要提醒你多穿一点衣服啊，出门要带伞啊，或者是要穿外套等等的。路况报道。路况报道很值得出的就是，比如说有改道、塞车啊、车祸啦，或者是前面有施工，你不要走这条路哦，不要走高速公路哦，你要走平面道路哦，等等哦，这些东西都是还蛮常出现的。地方的新闻啊，地方新闻可能是一些文化的活动，或者是呢产品上市、公司合并某个东西活动的开幕典礼，这是也是有可能的。那最后呢，广告，那广告的话呢，就是它这一段对话，这个广告是要干嘛？那因为广告有很多种，它可能是要促销某个产品，或者是呢让大家知道某一个服务啦，或者是有哪一个表演正在进行。那这些都是要注意，就是说要去猜测这些事情你要有心里要有个谱，听的人是谁，讲的人是谁产品特色啦，折扣，如果他讲到折扣的话，折扣的这个优惠期间，还有他打几折这些都是重点。Alright， 好，那我们来看一下这个题目。What is the main purpose of this report？ 这个报告或者是说这个报道是目的为何 ？Warn listeners about a rainstorm occurring。所以有这个暴风雨要来了 ，in the middle of the week， 在周间就出现了。Explain why the area is experiencing extreme weather conditions。为什么这个地方呢正出现非常极端的天候状况？这个是一个天气预报嘛。Give reasons why more people are buying high quality umbrellas。为什么大家都在买高品质的雨伞？还是 D Introduce the upcoming weather for the rest of the week， 就是一般的这个气象预报，接下来这一周的状况怎么样？第二题 What is the highest temperature expected on Friday？ 礼拜五最高温是什么？这是细节题，等一下他一定会讲到，所以要特别注意一下。What will the weather be like on the weekend？ 那周末的时候是发生什么样的状况？所以我觉得这一题很有可能第一个是 D， 因为他这边问到说周末会发生什么事情，所以有可能是整个周间下来因为它有周间有周末，我猜乱猜。OK， 那天气会怎么样就要听才会知道了，是 humid and rainy, clear and humid 是什么？ humid 是很潮湿的OK， 好，那 clear 就是无云的好天气，到底是哪一个呢？我们来听一下咯。
Good morning. This is Jackie Dobbs with your 5-day forecast. Today's temperature could climb to as high as 40 degrees Celsius by noon, with a daily high of 42 degrees and a daily low of 29 degrees until the end of the week. There is only a 10% chance of rain. Starting from Friday, the temperature will drop slightly, with a high of 34 and a low of 26 degrees. The humidity level will be higher too, with showers expected Friday afternoon. This weather will continue throughout the weekend, so take your umbrella with you. Next Monday, it will get back into the high 30s again.
Alright， 这三题你听完就要能够抓出来了嘛。第一题他说什么 5-day report， 对不对？所以第一个是 D。那再来呢，我不知道大家有没有听到34度 OK， 礼拜五呢最高温是34度。那礼拜五他讲到礼拜五之前，他有讲说那个气候已经凉下来了，对不对？那气温有降低了。那最后 What will the weather be like on the weekend？ 答案是 A humid and rainy。OK， 会持续潮湿，然后而且还会下雨。OK， 我们再听一次好了，应该有一些时间来。
Morning, this is Jackie Dobbs with your 5-day forecast.
5-day forecast， 5天的预测，所以答案选 D。
Today's temperature could climb to as high as 40 degrees Celsius by noon.
Today， 这讲的是 today， 40度。
With a daily high of 42 degrees and a daily low of 29 degrees.
Daily high, daily low， 今日高温，今日低温，这个都不是重点。
Until the end of the week. There is only a 10% chance of rain. Starting from Friday,
starting
the
from
temperature
Friday
will drop slightly.
Starting from Friday, the temperature will drop slightly. 这个气温呢会稍微往下降。
With a high of 34 and
With a high of 34, 所以第二题答案是 B.
a low of 26
Low of 26
degrees. The humidity level will be higher too.
Humidity level will be higher too. 这个湿度也会比较高。
With showers expected Friday afternoon.
Showers Friday afternoon. 这是礼拜五嘛？但是他这边第三题问的是 weekend.
This weather will continue throughout the weekend. So,
alright, this weather will continue throughout the weekend. 到这一个周末，整个会持续下去哦，所以你就知道说它是什么 humid and rainy. Alright, 以上是我们今天的课程内容。我是季安老师，我们下堂课见，拜拜。
See you next time.